I have returned. I have been summoned to this mortal realm in a plushy type form because my body needs to be here, apparently. I don't know, people keep summoning me because they wanted to, like, curse teenagers and stuff. They tell me, I want to punch a teenager. I want to punch a teenager. I'm like, well, there's video games for that. But then they said, no, I want to do it in real life. So then they summoned me, and they were trying to curse their friend or their, I guess, their enemy from their place. It didn't work. But now I'm here in the mortal realm. So that's neat. I guess I'm going to be here for a while, but technically I'll occupy both bodies because I still have my digital body, but I also still have my fluff body. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to tell you guys scary stories. Ooh. Now then, to help me tell these scary stories, I have some guests. These will add to the great horror of the situation. You'll see guests like a bony bird and a German fake tank. Look at the little man inside. What secrets does he hold? I tried to find a Soviet one, but we just had a German one here. Finally, the most spooky of all. An unlit candle from the dollar store. Ooh. Now that we have all of the elements of horror, we can tell you of the ultimate spooky story. Oh Lord, I think I got a little too close to it. No, wait, am I framed? Okay. Now I can tell you the ultimate spooky story. This story is called Declined. Okay, it's called Declined. Once, long ago, there was a man who was going on a date. And the date, she wanted to go to an expensive restaurant. And he, being a heteronormative cis man, was unable to say, no, I can't afford that, because it made him feel less manly. Ooh. So they went to the spot, and they had a dinner. I think he had something like duck à l'orange, and I'm trying to remember what she had. Oh yeah, a steak, that's right. She had a steak, but the steak was nearly $50. It was very expensive. Ooh. And then the man, oh wait, I'm touching the camera. Sorry. Okay, wait, no, there. Am I focus? Okay, yes. And then she paid for it, but he couldn't because when they took his card, it was declined. Ooh. She said that she was willing to pay, but he felt emasculated because he was insecure. And afterwards, she was like, hey, you want to come inside for some coffee? And we all know what that actually means. But he was like, I don't want to. Because he felt emasculated, so he couldn't perform the deed. Ooh, the sheer horror of it. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, it's red. Now, our next scary story is called The What's Happening. And it takes place in a house very much like this. You see, there was a man who had a roommate, and that roommate was doing very well, but the man was not doing so well. You see, the man had just been not given a promotion. He'd been passed over for the promotion. Ooh. So what he did was he went to a card store, and he bought some tarot cards, and he threw them on the ground, and he was like, oh, it's there's no tarot cards down there. But he threw them on the ground, and then he was like, hey, what's my future like? And the tarot cards he drew, he drew death, And death is like, oh my god, it's so spooky, right? It's because it's like new beginnings and things. So it's not so much spooky because there's gonna be death, but it's spooky because new things are gonna happen and you don't know what they're gonna be. You know what I mean? That's terrifying. Anyway, so he did that, right? And then his roommate came in and asked, "What's happening?" And he was so embarrassed that he grabbed a bunch of tarot cards and threw them on the ground and tried to get the future from them that he cried. And he said, oh, "Nothing's happening." Woo! Spooky lighting. Whoop. Oh, God. I think I came out of frame. This last story is the most frightening of all. Oh, excuse me, bird. Oh God, fuck. God, okay, wait, no, we just need to adjust. I think we just need to adjust. I can't. Yeah, I'm stepping on like bones. Well, yeah, I mean that's not good. Bones aren't good for stepping on. That could hurt somebody. What if you stepped on bones and then you had bone shards in your foot? What if it grew into more bone? Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? So let's move the bones and then we can figure it out where we're... Okay, so this last one is the most scary, frightening of all. It's called the elevator. Ooh. So what happened was there was a man who heard that this elevator took you to the best floors, like only the best floors, like you couldn't go to the wrong floors. So he was like, I want to go to the best floors. So he got on the elevator and he started pressing the buttons. He's like, boop 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 boop. He was doing that right with his hand, and so he pressed it, and the elevator started to go up. He's like, okay, cool. And this was in like a business building, a building where they do business. So he was all like, oh yes, I'm gonna go do the most business. Anyway, so the problem was, what he didn't realize was that the elevator was cursed. It was cursed that you had to listen to terrible stories from a coworker who you didn't like very much. So he got on. He's like, okay, I'll get to the best floor. But then this guy named Tom got on. He hated Tom. Tom is just constantly telling him stupid stories, right? So then he walks up to him. He's like, hey man, did you know what I did this weekend? I went to a pool, but it wasn't like a pool, like a very good pool. It was just kind of a pool. It's like, okay, thanks, Tom. What was the point of that? And he's like, but I had a noodle. I had the noodle in the pool, and it was very moist. It was a very moist noodle. Do you like moist noodles? He's like, I guess, Tom. I mean, what? I guess, like, I like spaghetti. I guess I like spaghetti. He's like, okay, that's cool. So, did you check out on the news lately? And at this point, the businessman was crying because, like, I don't care. And he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and it wasn't working because Tom doesn't read social cues. Ooh. And then Tom just kept telling him terrible stories, and eventually he got to his business floor, but like Tom just would not leave him alone. And then Mario appeared in front of him and came closer with hyper-realistic blood and eyes. And he had the scary posture. He was a scary posture. Oh boy, well that was pretty scary. So now it's time to snuggle up and feel safe. Don't worry, if you need to feel safe, just imagine me. Imagine me floating above you and there's a hand gripping you, shaking you. And it will feel better. You'll feel way better. Look at all my little friends around me. Okay, happy late spooky ween, happy December ween. I hope you're loved, because you're loved by a cat. Oh yeah, baby. Look at all of these friends. I love you.